Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining me for another Wednesday video. My name is Marg from Creative Stamping with Marg. Today we are going to do some stamping. I don't often do that on my cards, but this particular stamp set, I thought I would use it and show you all the different things that are fun about this stamp set. All right, we'll go down to my desk. I have the paper pumpkin to show you and my card kit that's available, and we'll get on with this card. Okay, down to my desk here. There we go. You can see, without the glare maybe, the stamp set I'm talking about is Blooming Phrases. So if you haven't seen this one, it has really nice sentiments on it, but there's lots of little tricks and tips with these flowers and leaves that are kind of fun. So we're going to use that today. And I have some other samples of cards that have used it. But before we get on with our card, I'll just share with you our the paper pumpkin that is ready to subscribe to up until August the 10th, called Farmhouse Florals. This particular paper pumpkin kit is coming with an additional stamp set, so that's always fun. It makes 9 cards, 3 of 3 designs. And of course you get envelopes, you get your Stampin' Spot. Your Stampin' Spot this time I think is Secret C. And let's see what else about it. Has pre-cut paper pieces. Oh, and you're also getting linen thread with this one, so it should be fun. And the dies that go with this one for the next, they went with July, and this is August, and they will go with September. So these are the Circle of Seasons dies. So you can see there's a circle die in there that's really nice, some leaves, an acorn, a strawberry that went with July's paper pumpkin, and the word hello. So these are add-on dies for $16.50. The number is 167277. So they also coordinate with next month's, September's. All right, so that's our paper pumpkin. We are expecting a mini catalog that will be launching in September. So if you would like a copy of that, you can get a hold of me. This is our annual catalog. If you don't have one yet and you are in Canada and don't have a demonstrator, I'd be happy to get one to you. And then end of August, beginning of September, I can get the mini catalog to you. So you can contact me through my website, margaretgorn.stampinup.net, or via email, mrgorn@shaw.ca. The card kit that I was talking about, I've shown before. 4 cards, they come with envelopes, they're all fun folds, and they're utilizing our 12 by 12 designer series paper. So you would get everything that you see to make these cards, except I can't do the stamping for you, so you'd have to use your own stamps. You will get a PDF mailed with the card kit, and it tells you what stamp sets I used if you're interested in that. So these are all the different cards using different papers, and you would use your own stamp sets. All right, the card kit is $15. If I'm mailing it to you, if you're not in my area for porch pickup, it's an extra $5, so therefore $20 for the card kit. And again, you can contact me through my website or my email. Okay, so Blooming Phrases, I said we're using today. Very simple card, but I thought it was one that I wanted to show you the stamping on. Like I said, I don't often do that, but today I am. So we're going to get right on it. The card base today is thick basic white, 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2, and it's going to open like this, a side fold card. I have a piece of designer series paper that is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and I've put it through the exposed brick embossing folder. I think you can see that there. This piece of paper is from the Unbounded Beauty, so you probably recognize that one. And the reason I cut it at that funny size is because I just want just a little white showing, not very much. So I like it at this size, and it just gives us just that little edge that shows. Okay, you're also going to need another piece of white cardstock, and I used my textured notes dies to cut this one, and I think I used this one. Yeah, so if you're counting from the outside, 1, 2, the third one in, and it's sort of has the lines on it. You'll see it right there. So this die, if you don't have it and you just want to cut a rectangle, this is 4 1/4 by 2 3/4, this piece. But it just needs to fit on the front of your card. So, okay. And I have some two-tone paper today, and I've picked Pool Party just because it's what I had, and it kind of goes with this paper. You'll see a bit of a color there. So what I did is I took a piece that is 1 inch. I think it's by 4 inches, just to fit inside. It's going to fit inside my white layer here. And I took it like that, 1 inch piece, and tore a little bit towards myself. So you're carefully tearing towards yourself like that. And you can see with our two-tone paper, you get to see the white core of it. And then this piece, of course, is the same side. But if I turn this piece over, look at the difference in the colors. There's our two tones. Okay, so that's going on our card. I also have a 1/2 inch by 4 1/4, just a scrap that I also put through the embossing folder that I'm going to use on the inside. I have some ribbon, and I have, using the Textured Notes dies again, I used this long die, and I cut myself my label from here, and I'm using the words hello there from this Blooming Phrases, so I stamped it in Summer Splash on there like that. So that's our greeting. All right, so now this stamp set has 17 different stamps, so I've got a bunch of the flowers and the leaves all mounted on blocks to go ahead and use. So I've got all my colors here. I brought in Berry Burst, Petunia Pop, Summer Splash, which I've already used on my greeting, and Pretty in Pink. There is some of the Pretty in Pink in this paper. You can just see it in the background. Just wanted to highlight a little bit, but mostly the pinks, I think, in this card. So we can go ahead, and I think I'll glue this piece of designer paper down, and then we'll get started on our stamping. Now, if you have used this stamp set before, you know that the ends of all the words, bring that back in, the ends of all the words have those long tails on them. And it's just interesting. You use those long tails as the stems of your flowers. So I think they're pretty much all the same, the stems, I mean, pretty much all the same, the way that they go. But of course, this being photopolymer stamps, I've got hello there mounted on here. You can alter the shape. Sorry, I've got glue on my fingers here. You can alter, you know, the shape of your stem if you wanted. So you don't have to have it exactly the way it is, but that's the way it is. And if you have to be careful when you pick these up. I often put them down on my mat and let them be their natural shape and pick them up that way. But if you do want to alter it, you can. So I will show you what I did. All right, let's move this out of the way, this out of the way, my colors, and get that in the screen here. Use my silicone mat for this. And we're going to do some stamping on here. And actually, I do have a bit of a foam mat. If you're wondering, this purple mat is a bit of a foam mat underneath here. Or you could use the piercing mat. And I just have a scrap piece of paper on it to do your stamping because these are photopolymer. But I'm just going to go ahead and use my the mat that I have there. I want my flowers to go across this panel. And my thought is, and I'm sure you maybe have figured this out, with my torn pieces, I'm going to cover up the stems. So I want my flowers kind of hidden underneath there. But I also have all my flowers mounted here. I hope you can see them. So I've got that one and the 3 little ones. And this one I think is a rose. And this one, not sure what, whoops, that's not an easy one to look at. I don't think see that one. And then this one I really like because it makes me think of a coneflower, and I do like the look of that one. So my thought is, of course, the flowers, the tops of the flowers we want them kind of at the top here a bit. So therefore my stem is going to be tucked down there. So for my stems, I'm going to use the Summer Splash. And I will just put it here and move my flowers out of the way. We'll decide on the colors of the flowers after. But, and you have to be careful planning this because you don't want your flowers too close together, or don't want your stems too close together, or you won't get your flowers in. Now you can see I just inked just the stem, but it's not really going to matter if I got part of the words because I'm covering it up, remember? So again, I'm planning that I want one flower quite close to the top there. And you don't have to press very hard on this to get your stem. There's a stem, and if I just try, I put my flower there, perfect. Then I would want some shorter ones in between, and I'm going to sort of turn them so that they're not all going the same way. And I probably want an odd number. I've got to be careful. I can see I got some, just need a paper towel here. I got some ink on the corner of my block, and I don't want to get that on my paper, so I'm just going to wipe that off. Okay. And another one, and just wondering, I want to alter them so that they're, you know, up and down kind of thing. There's another one. Okay. And I'll maybe do another one, maybe up a bit there, and then another one down here. And I'll turn him that way. I'm just thinking I might have these ones too short. Yeah, those are going to be too short. So I might need to change that last one I just did. And I know, wonder if I can add a little bit to it. I don't know. I don't want to wreck it. I think I'm going to leave it. Just going to leave it the way it is. And we're going to hope for the best. I had forgotten that this is going to go at the bottom here. And you might not be able to see much of that stem. So we'll work on that one. Okay, so if I am doing that, then I want to plan my flowers a little bit. So I've got the 3 colors. And I think the main color I want is the Petunia Pop. So I'm going to put it in the middle. Pretty in Pink. Oops, Pretty in Pink is here. And I might use Pretty in Pink for those little ones. The Petunia Pop, my favorite flower, I think, is this coneflower. So I'm going to use it in the Petunia Pop. And then I do have Berry Burst. And I hope it's not too dark for this. So one of these flowers in Berry Burst. So, okay, let's see. I think my coneflower, I'm going to put it right in the middle. So I want the coneflower on this. And you can tip this coneflower any way you like, just as long as you have it on the stem. I'm going to put it there. Perfect. And I think the Berry Burst is quite dark. Maybe I'll use it on the rose. Should I use the rose in pink? I might use the rose in pink in the Pretty in Pink. It's a bit lighter. And I'm going to, I'm disappointed about that stem there, but I'm thinking maybe I'll put the rose down there. Okay, that looks good. And this flower, I think I'll do it in the Berry Burst. I am going to just try the Berry Burst on, I've got a piece of scrap paper over here that I thought, just try it. It's quite dark, and it looks quite a lot like the Petunia Pop, just a darker shade of it. So I think I will put it going this way. Okay, all right, so those are our flowers. Now, for these other stems, I'm going to use these 3 little flowers and put them on. And I think I can do that here. Now, what do I want to do for color? Maybe, I think I want pretty in pink over here. So I'm going to do these ones in pretty in pink. And I'm just putting them down like that. And then I'm going to clean this off. And I have my chamois here. And I'm going to do the other ones over here in Berry Burst. Okay. So I've cleaned that off. And I'll just use Berry Burst for those ones. And I'm going to put them up here. Oh, I've got to be careful not to get the rose, though. I think it's okay. Yeah, not quite okay. Sorry, my head's in here. I'm just going to stamp that again. And hope I didn't fudge it up too much. It'll have to do. I did wiggle that one a little bit, but that's okay. Now we're going to put our leaves on. The leaves are all going to be in Summer Splash, so I'm going to just move these out of the way. And I'm not putting them away yet because I maybe want to do something in the inside of my card. So I have these little leaves that are on here. I think this is the way. So there's these little ones. It almost looks like a mustache. And then there's these, tiny little ones. So I think I will do these small ones. Oh, and there is also, I brought this one in. And it goes really nicely along a stem. It's a long one, and it would go along a whole stem, but I don't think I'm going to use that one in this card. So I've gone ahead and inked this one. And you're just going to add a few leaves to your stems of your flowers. Just alternating them back and forth. And then I will... That rose isn't going to get a leaf on it, is it? Not likely. That's okay. And then I think I will do this one this way. And maybe give him a few more leaves. Just like that. And then I think I'll might use my chamois again and clean that one because I don't want my hand in it. And then I will use that other leaf. And I think I will do, now you see I don't want to be on the roses here. I think I will do that there. And there. That looks good. And the roses, I'm not worried about the rose having anything on it. Okay, so that looks good. I kind of thought the background looked a little plain to me. So I searched through my stamp sets to find what I call splotches or splatters. And this is Spotlight on Nature, has those little splatters. So I've mounted that and I'm using Summer Splash. I'm stamping off once because I don't want it to be really dark. And I thought I'd just add some little splotches on the background. Turn your stamp around. Now I'm questioning where I want to do this. Do I want to do this? I'm just thinking, do I want it on the flowers or just in the sky? I think maybe just in the sky. And I'm looking at that and thinking, I don't want it on the marks, the cutouts here. So I'm just going to use a Post-it note and cover those up. And I just want to put some up here, just like that. And then when I pull that off, it should be okay. I think that looks good. Don't overdo it. Don't overthink it. All right. So now putting this together. Before we do that, I've got all my ink out. I'm just going to move this out of the way. And I'll take the inside of my card. Because it's thick, basic white, I'm not putting another layer of white in here. I am thinking I'm going to put this in here. This piece right here like that. But I thought maybe I should stamp some flowers along the bottom. So if I'm going to do that, I will just take my stem again. and just ink it up on the bottom here. And maybe I just want one, and of course my favorite one is the cone flower. Sorry for my reach there, and I'll go to Petunia Pop again and put a Petunia Pop flower on here, just like that. And the leaves I put on the Petunia Pop were these little ones. On the cone flower there, so I'm going to just put some leaves on there like that. And one more, see, that's what I did. And if I was doing my envelope while we're doing this, I would do the same thing, I think, on my envelope. Okay, so there's the inside. While we're in the inside, I will go ahead and glue that strip in. I'm going to close that up so I don't get my hand in it. And this was from another of the pieces of paper from that same package of Unbounded Beauty. This is an online exclusive paper. If you're wondering where to find it, it's in the online exclusives. Okay, and I'm just putting it just along the edge there like that, just to give it some interest on the inside. I think that looks really nice. You can add more flowers if you wanted, but I don't think I want to. I'm going to just get gluing. I'm going to close my stamp pads up now, though, so I don't get my hands in them. And we will get rid of those stamps. I have a little bin here that I put my stamps in for washing. And then, again, I don't get my hands in everything. It's just a really good way to get rid of them. All right, there we go. Okay, all right, so let's get this put together. Now, my thought was that I would glue this down to the bottom, just like that. I was going to put it on dimensionals, but I think I'll put this whole panel up on dimensionals. I put ink on my fingers, I see, somewhere. It's okay. I think that will get covered up. You can see I've cut this piece so that it fits just between those lines. That's right. And I've got the other piece that we ripped off, and if I turn it over, it's the other color. And I thought, why not add it? Makes it interesting. And I chose these colors because they went with the designer series paper, of course, but if you wanted this to look like grass, you could use a green in the two-tone. And then you just, whoops, sorry, I need to lay it right down. It's the same size, of course, so I want it laid right down on the edge there, like that. So I think that looks really cute and really utilizes that two-tone paper, doesn't it? Okay, putting it onto here. I did have a ribbon cut. Didn't know if I wanted to use it or not, and I'm just going to look at it again now. If I want to put it on there and put this, whoops, coming off it like that, or whether I would just like to just use that piece. And I could loop this around. I've done that. Just made a loop here. So it looks like it's a continuous piece, and it's just like that. And then have that at the end. I might do that. Okay, so I'm going to get my glue runner and my Stampin' Seal here. Okay, and I'm going to add Stampin' Seal to the back of this greeting, and I'm going to actually attach it. I think maybe I like that side better. Attach it to my ribbon because I want this to be look, whoopsie, just like that. So it's attached right to the ribbon. Okay, and I'm going to loop this around, and again, just take my glue runner, run some glue onto that ribbon. I'm going to flip this over so that it's a loop. So you see that little loop there. And then this piece. So let's see how that looks. Putting it here, and I will get my ribbon scissors again and trim this end off like that. And hopefully that works. Okay, just like that. I think that looks good. And I'm going to put these all up on dimensionals. Okay, so put this panel up on dimensionals just to give it a little boost. So that was quick and easy. Have lots of fun with those flowers. I was going to show you how to use this one. I didn't use it on a stem, but I did use it on some other ones that I've done, so I'll show you. So take your backs off your dimensionals. And so we've used some two-tone paper. If you haven't seen the two-tone paper in action, it's lots of fun. I've got quite a few samples done with it now. You can score it, and it'll show the white core when you score it. You can, I'm just thinking, do I want this over here, or do I want it, I think I want it sort of centered there. So like that, that looks good. Okay, and I'm going to put this up on dimensionals. Just going to see if these ones fit, and if they don't, I think maybe I'll use the minis only because I don't want them to show. So I just have to dig for my minis here. There we go. What was I saying about the, you can crumple the two-tone paper, you can tear it like I did to show the core. You can score it and it shows the core again. What else did I do with it? Put it through an embossing folder and then sand it. And I do have a sanding block, and I haven't been anywhere to look for them, but I am going to go. Somebody told me the dollar store has them in the home section where they keep paintbrushes and things like that. So I am going to go and have a look and see about that. I used an awful lot here, but I think that's okay. And I'm peeling the backs off. This should be fine once it gets, whoopsie, there's a back right there on my work. I think this should be okay once we get it laid down. All right, there we go. So I'm just going to move it over like that. Now this is loose. I may put a glue dot on the back of that so it'll lay properly. All right, there we go. Let's get a glue dot out of here, and I think that'll work. Just peel a glue dot off of your paper here, like that, and I'm just going to tuck it. See how the end naturally goes up, and that's fine. I'm fine with that. I think I'll put it behind the knot. Just on the knot there, just like that, and then it holds it in place. All right, there's our finished card. Now, I did bring in some embellishments. These are the rainbow adhesive back dots, and they're in the annual catalog. There is Pool Party in here, and that's the color of my two-tone paper, so I thought maybe I would use some of that. Sorry, that's not. That is Pool Party there. This color is Balmy Blue. One of them is Balmy Blue and one of them is Pool Party. I think this is the Pool Party down here. So I'll use 3 of those. Where do I want to put those? This is always the hardest part, is where do you put your embellishments? I think maybe I liked it up here. Put one there and a couple of small ones on here. Let's see. This one here. And maybe another one here. There. All right, so there's our card finished. So using the two-tone paper, an embossing folder, our dies, ribbon, embellishments, Really cute. And there. I'm not putting anything on the inside because I think it is a great card just to write a note to someone. All right, I will share with you my inspiration. This was a swap card from my upline Lillian. And she used the exposed brick folder in the back of this one also. And she used a different textured note die on this one. And then she did her flowers across there and some gems and her banner and some linen thread. So similar to mine. And then I did another one. This is using the same paper that we used Unbounded Beauty. And this is the peach pie. So I did that in different colors. And this is a thank you card. And on the inside, I just did my one little flower there. So I used some embellishments in the centers of the flowers. That looked good. So there's 3 different cards done with the same stamp set, different colors, just to give you an idea of some things that you can do with it. So that's our card for today. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. And if you comment on my video, I read all my comments and comment back to you if required. And I thank you again for watching, and I hope everyone has a great week.